I think I have just actually addressed the point that you are raising, which is the dual function of the pandemic emergency programme. It was a programme in and of its own, and it had in its DNA, as I think I have mentioned at one of our last press conference, flexibility, which was clearly intended to address the issue of dispersion, the risk of fragmentation, and intended to make sure that our monetary policy was transmitted across all member states of the euro area. And clearly that function has worked, is working, and is critically important in order for our monetary policy to actually transmit throughout the whole region. It has a dual function, in that the other function has to do with the monetary stance. And clearly it will continue to address and deliver on that dual function. And we very much hope that it continues to work on both accounts, both the stabilisation of financing conditions, the risk of fragmentation, but also the monetary stance, in order to make sure that inflation is going towards the medium-term objective that we are pursuing. As you know, we increased the size of PEP back in June, and that was clearly intended to respond to the circumstances and to make sure that all the consequences resulting from the pandemic could be addressed through that pandemic emergency programme, whether it related to fragmentation, to financial instability, or to the monetary stance that was a direct consequence of pandemic. So that continues, and we've extended, as you know, the duration of our purchases, as well as indicated the time frame during which we would continue to reinvest. And we also indicated that all of that should not in any way predicate any obstacle to our delivery of monetary policy. Now, your second question, which is a broad one, has to do with the strategy that has been developed with a bit of a lag time attributable to the pandemic by the Federal Reserve Board. And clearly we have noted, as you have, that the dual mandate, price stability and employment, that the Fed pursues have been revisited. And you have commented upon it, and we have taken good note of those changes. As far as we at the ECB are concerned, we had started our strategy review. Just like the Fed, we pressed the pause button during the time of the highest level of the pandemic crisis, and we are about to resume. Actually, our next seminar, which will focus on inflation measurements, is due to be held on September 23rd. And this whole period of COVID-19 has not stopped the work stream, the 10 work streams that have been assigned specific research and analytical themes from working. So we feel that we are up and about and ready to, as I said earlier on, turn every stone that will help us define our strategy in order to make sure that the ECB is fit for purpose and our monetary policy can deliver. So trust us, we will be working on our strategy. I think it would be totally unwise and not loyal at all for me to already prejudge what the strategy review deliberations will be. There's an enormous amount of work that is being done, but there will clearly be a focus on our definition of price stability. It's a cornerstone of any strategy of any central bank around the world, and we will be extremely attentive and focused on that. Thank you.